On Global TV News Express, President Tinubu reverses ambassadorial posting, approves 3 appointments after mix-up. In business, national grid collapses again. Power generation drops to 24 megawatts. On the foreign scene, Ukraine, Russia, United States to meet for first trilateral talks to end war. And in sports, the Besiktas ponder €15 million for Ndidi sell amidst Manchester United interest. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Express on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Shehu Said. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. President Bola Tinubu has approved the posting of 3 ambassador designates, reversing an earlier announcement that had included a 4th nominee for Turkey following a mix-up. In an initial memo issued to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and signed by the President's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, the Presidency announced the posting of 4 ambassador designates drawn from the 68 nominees confirmed by the Senate last December. However, within hours of the announcement, the President issued a correction citing a naming error concerning the Turkey posting. In a note to editors, the Presidency said the appointment of an ambassador designate to Turkey is still under review and should for the moment be disregarded. The Nigerian Army has dismantled criminal strongholds inside the Ajali forest in Ezeagu local government area of Enugu State, dealing a major blow to armed groups that had turned the forest into a hub of security and terror. The commanding officer of the 103 Battalion, Major Muhammad Buhari Abdurrahman, said the operation targets members of the indigenous people of Biafra, the Eastern Security Network, and other criminal elements operating within the forest. Kike Lomo Okere has details.
Commander Operation Wild Stroke, Major General Moses Gara, who was represented by the commander of 401 Special Forces Brigade, Brigadier General Kolawole Bukoye, outlined sustained offensive operations, intelligence-driven raids, and constant troops presence as key factors behind the success recorded against banditry, kidnapping, armed robbery, and communal violence. He says the period under review witnessed several clearance operations, cordon and search mission, and aggressive patrols, leading to the rescue of adopted victims from the criminal hideout and the recovery of arms, ammunition, and logistics. According to him, these efforts have significantly degraded criminal networks and boosted public confidence, with community previously abandoned now experiencing gradual return of social and economic activities.
The States is moved relatively calm now. Today, our sister homes, it's a gradual process. There has to be certainty on the ground. And people need to be told the truth. The narrative has to change.
Brigadier General Bukoye noted that areas such as Yewata community have fully regained normalcy, describing the security situation as stable and peaceful. Defense correspondents on the tour also observed calm across the area, with farmers returning to their farmlands under the watch of the security forces. The military high command reaffirmed its commitment to sustain the gains, assuring continued communities.
Yewata right now is peaceful. We're still waiting on the government to put 1 or 2 things in place so that people can fully be integrated back into the society. But life in Yewata is very, very normal. People go to farms with the military patrol, they come back with the military patrol.
The media tour, initiated by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Olufemi Oloyede, is aimed at providing the public with accurate first-hand reports on security operations across the country. Kike Lomo Okere, Global Television News.
Kano State Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf has approved the sponsorship of the bereaved father of 6 children who were killed alongside their mother in the Chiranchi area of Dorei, Kano metropolis for Hajj and Umrah, as well as the provision of a new house and full welfare support. The governor announced this during a condolence visit to the family, where he assured them of the state government's continued support during this difficult time. Global TV correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that the governor has also directed the State Attorney General to ensure speedy justice in the matter.
Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf, accompanied by top government officials, arrived at Chiranchi quarters in Dorei area of Kano metropolis to condole the bereaved father of 6 and other members of the family. While condemning the gruesome incident, the governor announced the approval of a new and befitting house for the victim as part of efforts to rehabilitate him and restore his social life. He further pledged full welfare support, including assistance should the bereaved father decide to remarry. Meanwhile, Governor Yusuf also visited the Kano State Police Command headquarters, where he commended officers and men of the command for their timely response and professionalism in handling the incidents. The governor describes the action of the police as mature and intelligent, noting that their swift intervention led to the arrest of the suspect involved.
CP, I'm here again to give you moral support, to encourage you to know that the people of Kano are aware about the effort of the police command in the state in curtailing all insecurity challenges.
Speaking earlier, the Kano State Commissioner of Police Ibrahim Bakuri disclosed that the 3 suspects arrested in connection with the killings have confessed to the crime. He, however, stated that investigations are still ongoing to uncover other possible crimes committed by the suspect.
Any crime cannot be left without arresting the suspect, investigating and prosecuting the suspects. And we cannot complete this speech without thanking your Ministry of Justice, the judiciary, and all the other people in the states. We're always having that cooperation, and that's why we're making tremendous achievements.
Governor Yusuf has directed the Kano State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice to fast-track the prosecution of the suspects. The Commissioner of Police assured that the suspect will soon be charged to court to face prosecution. From Kano, Idris Jibrin, Global Television News.
Meanwhile, a cross-section of Nigerians have attributed the recent killing of a mother and her 6 children in Kano to lack of proper upbringing by parents and poor neighborliness. Others, on the other hand, blame the phenomenon on failure on the part of government. Zaharau Nasir spoke to some Nigerians in Abuja on this and files in the report.
Lack of home training refers to deficits in fundamental manners, discipline, and social etiquette taught in childhood, resulting in behaviors like disrespect, entitlement, poor accountability, and an inability to handle situations calmly or follow rules as an adult. It's seen in individuals who don't say please, thank you, apologize, show empathy, or respect authority.
Lack of home training refers to missing foundational lessons in manners, discipline, respect, and social etiquette taught within the family, leading to poor character, disrespect, inability to handle rules or emotions, and a deficit in core life skills that schools are not designed to adequately compensate for. This consequently leads to individuals who struggle with accountability and healthy interactions. A mother in Abuja says it is crucial for parents to actively listen to their children, bond with them, and raise properly, not only academically, but also religiously.
I advise parents that when you are training children, please, you train them religiously. They should know religion. First, as you are training them academically, you should train them religiously. Show them love. Number two, show the children love very well. Unite with your child. You as the mother, unite with your child. Show your child love. Let him be able to tell you everything that bothers him. Show him that you are always there for him. So I'm telling you, when you are doing that, you will not go astray.
Other Nigerians attribute this reality to social problems occasioned by government's reluctance to provide basic amenities, leading to unemployment and tendency to turn to crime.
No, it is not home training. Listen, it is the system. The administration collapse. Like in an advanced world, if the father or the mother fail to take responsibility, the government will take the children, because the children belongs to the government. As you are now, you are government property. You are not on your own. When the department that is involved are not doing the right thing, you must see evils every day today, because the evil is coming from the hem of affairs.
I think as a father, you see, training a child or children bordered on the responsibility of both the father and the mother. And as I said, what happened in Kano, where a child at the age of 23 connived with other children, and they went and finished a whole family of 6. I think, to me, my advice as a father should be very close to the children. The father should be able to advise the children.
Nigerians are therefore calling on government at all levels to be more proactive and design policies and programs to address the social ills in the society. Zahra Unasir, reporting for Global TV.
The Executive Secretary, Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TET Fund, has assured the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps of collaboration with the agency towards ensuring the security of tertiary institutions in the country. He gave the assurance when he received the Commandant General of the Corps on a courtesy visit. Global Television correspondent Saadat Garba reports.
The Executive Secretary of the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, Soni Echono, described the visit as timely and significant and acknowledged the role of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps in protecting public infrastructure. He stressed the importance of collaboration between the two agencies in achieving national development goals. The TET Fund Executive Secretary revealed that the agency will be always ready to support the NSCDC on security-related research through its National Research Fund.
So we will be collaborating in the areas of research, and we'll be encouraging you to do so. The TET Fund has also, because of your training institutions, we will take a look at that to see what way they can also go beyond training your personnel for career progression to also training, particularly within our ecosystem of the academia.
Earlier, the NSCDC Commandant General, Professor Ahmad Abubakar Audi, stated that the aim of the visit was to foster institutional partnership, particularly in the areas of infrastructure protection, security of educational facilities, and capacity building. He commended the management of TET Fund for what he described as remarkable achievements recorded so far, noting that the agency plays a critical role in national development through education funding and infrastructure support.
We would like the TET Fund to consider this, to have collaboration, in that area with the Corps. But I'd like to congratulate you again, sir, for your achievements. And I know that the kind of person that you are somebody who would like to have relationship with organizations.
The engagement marks another step towards sustaining collaboration aimed at guaranteeing the safety of students, staff, and educational infrastructure nationwide. Saadat Garba, reporting for Global Television.
You are watching the live broadcast of News Express. When News Express return after this weather forecast, you will hear business, foreign, and sports stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us.
Hello, and here is your weather update. A direct flow of dry northerly winds from the Sahara continues to dominate the country, and this will lead to a noticeable drop in nighttime temperatures, bringing cooler nights and early mornings across many areas. So do keep that sweater handy, especially overnight and at dawn. Across the northern and central cities, conditions will remain predominantly sunny and dry, with improved visibility significantly throughout the day. Great weather for travel and outdoor activities. For the south, however, slightly different story. We expect patches of clouds with isolated thunderstorms developing during the afternoon and evening hours, particularly over parts of Cross River, Akwa Ibom, some parts of Bayelsa and River States. Residents in these areas are advised to stay weather aware and be safe. And that's the latest on the weather. Join us again.
You're welcome back, and we're beginning the second segment of the news with business, where the national power grid has collapsed once again, leaving parts of the country in darkness and disrupting electricity supply to millions of households and businesses. Reports reveal that electricity generation dropped sharply from over 4,500 megawatts to as low as 24 megawatts as of noon today. All 23 power generation plants connected to the grid reportedly lost output during the incident, resulting in zero power allocation to each of the 11 electricity distribution companies. The cause of the collapse could not be immediately determined, and officials of the Transmission Company of Nigeria are yet to issue a detailed statement. Meanwhile, two major unions in the power sector, the Senior Staff Association of Electricity and Allied Companies and the National Union of Electricity Employees, have declared an indefinite strike at the Kano Electricity Distribution Company, KEDCO, over unsettled workers' entitlements. The action followed the expiration of a midnight ultimatum issued to the management to clear accumulated arrears owed to staff. Idris Jibrin reports from Kano.
Tension mounted at the Kano Electricity Distribution Company as labor unions in power sector picketed the company's head office in Kano. Following the expiration of the midnight deadline, the Senior Staff Association of Electricity and Allied Companies and the National Union of Electricity Employees announced a total withdrawal of services across the company. The unions say negotiations with management broke down over 3 categories of unpaid arrears, which they claim have remained unsettled despite repeated agreements.
Our issue is that we have only staff welfare problem, and this management, we call their attention for them to at least listen to our demand, but they refuse to listen to our demand.
The labor leaders insist that management's failure to pay workers their entitlement by Tuesday, January 20th, forced them to embark on a total withdrawal of services.
KEDCO staff are hardworking staff, and everybody can testify through the revenue they are generating. So they deserve some level of respect by giving them what is meant for them. Remittance or pension, we talk about conducive working environment, we talk about the 13 months, we talk about so many things.
Responding to the development, the management of KEDCO appealed for calm, saying efforts are ongoing to resolve the issues and restore electricity supply to customers.
We sat down and we took a look at the thing holistically and agreed with the 2 in-house unions that going forward, we are going to be paying pensions, current pensions, and 1 month outstanding, and then at the end of every quarter, we will pay 2 months arrears and 1 current till we exhaust arrears when it comes to pension.
The strike action is expected to disrupt power supply across Kano and other areas served by KEDCO if the stalemate persists. From Kano, Idris Jibrin, Global Television News.
Let's now cross over to the foreign scene, where United States President Donald Trump says Hamas has to give up its weapons, warning that any action to the contrary will signal the end of the group. Trump spoke at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, while addressing his newly created Board of Peace that has originally been set up to oversee the reconstruction of Gaza going forward. Here is Uyi Agbemfobe's report.
The U.S. president has again cast himself as a global peacemaker, despite widespread skepticism over a plan that aims to rewrite the global order. Trump officials also unveiled ambitious plans for what they termed a new Gaza during the ceremony, with the U.S. leader describing the devastated Palestinian territory as, quote, great real estate. On his part, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio praised Trump for the initiative and reiterated implicit confidence in members of the board.
Now we have this Board of Peace, who I believe's possibilities are endless. Obviously with a focus first and foremost on making sure that this peace deal in Gaza becomes enduring. And I know this president has it as his highest priority and will give it everything he has to make sure that this is successful. This is not just a Board of Peace, this is a Board of Action. Just like President Trump is a president of action. A lot of times people like to give speeches. I've been to many of these forums and they're not useless and they're not, they have utility in many cases. But oftentimes in international affairs, we often find ourselves at events where people are reading these scripted statements, these strongly worded letters that they put out, but no action.
The board was created after Trump expressed frustration at failing to win the Nobel Peace Prize and ramped up his accusations that the United Nations had failed to resolve a host of international conflicts. The Board of Peace, of which Trump is the chairman, was initially designed to oversee the Gaza truce and the reconstruction of the Strip after the war between Hamas and Israel. However, its purpose has since evolved into resolving all sorts of international conflicts, sparking concerns that the U.S. president wants to create a rival to the United Nations. Countries have been asked to pay $1 billion for permanent membership of the board, while the invitation for Russia's Vladimir Putin, whose country invaded Ukraine in 2022, has sparked controversy. Uyi Agbemfobe, reporting for Global TV News.
In the meantime, Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky says officials from Ukraine, Russia and the United States will hold trilateral meetings for the first time on Friday and Saturday as the United States continues to push for an end to Russia's war on Ukraine. After talks with United States President Donald Trump in Davos, Zelensky said the terms of security guarantees for Ukraine had been finalized and the deal is almost ready on economic recovery after the war, a key element of Kyiv-backed proposals to push back on an earlier United States plan seen as heavily favoring Moscow. Zelensky described the negotiations scheduled to take place in Abu Dhabi as the first trilateral meeting to be held among the countries. And we go to sports news now, where Super Eagles captain Wilfred Ndidi has been offered to Manchester United as he seeks a return to the Premier League just 6 months after leaving Leicester City. The 29-year-old midfielder joined Turkish giants Besiktas in the summer, bringing an end to his 8-year spell in England, but is reportedly anxious to return to the Premier League. Ndidi has been represented to Manchester United as a possible option to bolster their midfield for the second half of the campaign. And Nigeria's national record holder in the women's high jump, Temitope Adesina, has been named the Big 12 Indoor Track and Field Athlete of the Week, following her first victory of the new season at the Koki Classic. The Big 12 is a collegiate athletic conference in the United States consisting of 16 full-member universities, 3 private and 13 public across the states of Arizona, Colorado, Florida, Iowa, Kansas, Ohio, Oklahoma, Texas, Utah, and West Virginia. Adesina received the honor alongside her Texas Tech teammate Jonathan Ceremis and Belos Tyria Kelly. And as Global TV News Express comes to an end, here is a recap of our stories. We told you that President Bola Tinubu has approved the posting of 3 ambassador designates, reversing an earlier announcement that had included a 4th nominee for Turkey following a mix-up. In business, the national power grid has collapsed once again, leaving parts of the country in darkness and disrupting electricity supply to millions of households and businesses. And on the foreign scene, Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky says officials from Ukraine, Russia and the United States will hold trilateral meetings for the first time on Friday and Saturday as the United States continues to push for an end to Russia's war on Ukraine. And in sports, we brought you a report that Super Eagles captain Wilfred Ndidi has been offered to Manchester United as he seeks a return to the Premier League just 6 months after leaving Leicester City. And that's it on News Express, but a quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen using @GlobalTVNG. I am Shehu Said saying thanks for watching.